it's Tasha. So I'll apologize now that I'm not looking at the camera, but I am driving. You can probably tell. Oh gosh, I look a mess. Look a mess last time in the video, but for good reason, at least. Today is transfer day. I am finished with my transfer. I literally am driving from my transfer to go and get something to eat before I go home. And so I am currently pregnant until proven otherwise. So I'll ask now, before I even give you the full update, if you will be so kind to say a prayer for us. I would greatly appreciate that. And extend all the baby dust in the world our direction. We are excited, I think, cautiously excited, but we are excited. So last we talked, I was prepping for my retrieval that was coming up, and I shared with you all that at that time we had that there were 6 follicles that were growing well that she felt like we would be able to get to, and we had I think I gave you guys the approximate sizes of them. So what we ended up with at retrieval were 5 eggs, and this process is so weird to me, because if you think about it, we had 2 of the eggs that were the smallest ones were almost the same size, but one of them, wasn't able to be extracted from the follicle. So that's what's always so interesting to me to this whole process, is you never know what's going to happen with it. So anyway, we ended up with 5, and if you're familiar with the IVF process and the terminology, I know a lot of clinics these days automatically do ICSI, and that's where they take the sperm and they inject the sperm directly into the egg. And the thought process behind that is that they are able to choose the sperm that they feel that looks the best and inject that into the egg. And a lot of clinics are doing that regardless of whether or not the issues from the fertility perspective are on the woman or the male side. My RE is not a big fan of that thought process. Her thought process is, don't use ICSI unless there's a male factor, because she feels like otherwise you are unnecessarily interrupting the process, the embryos, the egg. You're disrupting the egg unnecessarily. What's so interesting too is in the clinic I go to, there are several doctors in this particular clinic. It's fairly large, and she's the lone person in the clinic, lone RE, who has that perspective. She's like, all the rest of my colleagues are big fans of it. I think I'm a fan of it when it makes sense, but I'm not a fan of it when there's no male factor. So I trust her, and I trust her perspective. We trusted her perspective the last time, and we did again. So we did not complete or utilize ICSI. We chose to let them fertilize naturally, and of the 5, we had 4 fertilized. And last time we had 1 that was hanging on. This time we did not. We had 4 that fertilized, and we had 1 that did not fertilize at all. So we were, on pins and needles every day, waiting for that call, right? Well, before I go there, just talk about the retrieval itself and my recovery. This time I felt completely different than I did last time. This time I felt full. Like last time I didn't feel real, like a lot of huge changes. I could tell a little bit. This time I just felt so full. But what was crazy is between my IUI and my first IVF cycle, I gained so much weight. I gained like 14 pounds, and I'm still struggling to get that off, and it hasn't happened yet, but I'm trying. And it seems like no matter what I do, it will not go away. And weight gain is just not something I usually deal with, so it's been a little bit challenging. Well, this time around, I think I mentioned, maybe I did, I don't remember, I gained another 7 pounds. And I'm like, good grief. Like, I really don't need to gain any more weight. But, you know, it's worth it. But I felt it. I felt so full. Last time I gained, between those two, the IUI and the IVF, I gained more weight, but I didn't feel, I just felt like I was gaining weight. This time I just felt so bloated, so full. And by the time we got to retrieval, I just felt like, you know, felt huge. Like, oh my God. And so much was happening in the ovaries. I could actually feel the side that had the most amount of follicles. I could tell. And I just felt like, let's get these things out of there. So on retrieval day, my babe went ahead and went to work. My cousin went with me to the retrieval. She had to stay in the car, and I went in. I just felt so weird being alone, but, you know, like, I'll be okay. He met me up there. My babe did. I should have said that. He did go to work, but he met me up there when we first got there, so he could go do his thing. And then he did his thing, and he left. And the retrieval was smooth. I was out like a light. I'm always a hard stick when it comes to the IV, so it took him a moment to get that all done. But other than that, everything was fine. I woke up and didn't even realize it had happened, and then I realized I was in my room, and I was in my room by myself. And so I just laid there and hung out until the nurse came in and checked on me. And after she came and checked on me, she made me go to the restroom just to make sure that when I went to the bathroom that everything was good there, no blood, etc. And then I went ahead and I went home. And I stopped with my cousin. I got something to eat. And then I went home, and then I lounged around the house. I knew as soon as I got home I was going to need pain medication this time. Last time I didn't. This time I felt like, I feel it, and not going to fight it because I wanted to remain relaxed, and so I don't want to be uncomfortable. So I had tramadol, is what my doctor prescribed for me for pain, and so I took one, and then I was asleep like all day, but I felt comfortably being by myself, so I was alone. My cousin went home, and I was relaxing, and my babe checked on me numerous times, like, I'm fine. And I was actually working part of the day because I work from home, and I was working, not a lot, but I had a couple things that I needed to do for my staff, and so I was doing that, and then sleep and watching Netflix, and it was great. My son was home with me too, and he doesn't really know what's going on, but he was just like, "You okay, Mom? You need anything?" He's just naturally that way, and so he did a few errands for me, and I was just laying around, and laid around for a couple of days, and then did really good with that because I didn't want my babe fussing at me. So I laid around for a couple of days, and then he wouldn't let me cook or anything, so I didn't. Went and got something to eat every day, and then a few days after, I felt fine. A little crampy, but nothing like, more like a, when your period is getting ready to start. And so I went and started walking again, and got in a couple of really good walks with my mom, and I did that for the last few days, and then just prepping myself for the next step. So day 3 was hard to get to day 3, I think, this time, because last time I was working and everything, and this time I was just laying around the house. So it seemed like day 3 took forever. But we got our day 3 call, and all 4 of our embryos were still hanging in there. Initially, they were talking about doing a day 3 transfer, but after, my doctor was like, no, she makes good blast last time. I feel like we can do it again. In spite of my babe's bad eating habits that he's picked up over the last few months, she's like, I feel like, we'll be able to, make blast because his age is going to work for him. So, okay. So I trust her, like I said. So, we have they graded them on a scale of 1 to 3. 1 being poor, 3 being good. We had 2 3s, a 2, and a 1. So then we'll call you again to set up your transfer schedule, and we'll go from there. So they call me later that afternoon. So we're going to transfer on Saturday at 10 a.m. Make sure you have the full bladder and be here by 9:15. So great. So I learned from last time. Last time I was, knowing you have to have a full bladder, I was drinking my water like they told me on the way to the clinic. But the clinic is like 30 minutes from my house. So by the time I got there last time, oh my God, I was like, there's no way in the world I'm not going to be able to hold this. I got to pee. This time I knew better, learned. So I didn't drink my water at all until I got there. And started drinking my water when I got there. Before I got it, I was in the car drinking it. Before I got inside, I had to pee. So I'm like, I'm going to pee, and then I'll drink. I had another bottle of water with me. I'll drink some more when I get in there. So went to the bathroom, got inside, did all my paperwork, went back, got prepped, and was drinking water while I was sitting in my room. I actually felt good, but my doctor was late. There was some power outage. We had a really bad storm last night. And so there was a power outage. She got stuck. So now, by the time she got there, I thought I was going to die. My belly was so full. I'm like, oh my gosh. I was so full. So she's like, are you hurting? I'm like, no, I'm being honest. I'm not hurting, but I'm real full right now. And let's go. She's like, okay. So she takes me in. I tell my nurse, I'm not going to like you for like the next 5 minutes. They know you're ready pushing my tummy. And if you've never done a transfer, it doesn't hurt. I know some clinics give you Valium. Mine doesn't. It doesn't hurt at all to me. They put, it's like getting a pap smear. They put the initial catheter inside to open you up, and then they put I should say the speculum inside to open you up, and they put a catheter inside that's empty, and they take another catheter that has your embryos in it inside of that catheter so that they can actually release the embryos into your uterus. And so I got to see my little M babies on the screen. They looked amazing on the screen. I'm driving, but I have my picture close by, and I can show you, I think, because I don't want to look in my bag, the picture. But while I'm looking for the picture, they went ahead and transferred my little M babies in there, and you can see it on the screen. See the nice little bright light that took place when they did that. So those are, I don't know if it's the sun, if you're going to be able to see them, but if you can get a glimpse, those are my M babies. So I laid in there for another 10 minutes. I know I was so full, so I began to meditate and pray, and that helped me not think about it. And she's like, "Do you want your phone?" I'm like, "No. This is a good time for me to spend with myself and just pray and meditate." And I thought it was gonna be hard not having my babe there, but actually, and I'll tell him this, so it doesn't matter if I say it to you guys. I found him more distracting with him being there, because he's recording me last time. It was so irritating, and I'm like, I did not want to be recorded. I'm clearly, I had a pee so bad, so I was like rocking and like damn near in tears last time, and he's recording me, and I'm like, seriously? I have on my gown, my butt's out, and you have the camera on me. I really don't appreciate it. And then he's laughing and cracking jokes, and I just wasn't in the mood. And if you've gone through a transfer, and you may understand, but it was like I wasn't in the space where I was in the mood for his jokes and for him recording me. I clearly don't want to be recorded. So I was more irritated, I think, with him being there. And then this time he wasn't there, and I actually felt more peaceful. I love my babe, and I would, like to have him present, but I actually think it was better just me being by myself. And I felt so relaxed, and I was able to deal with everything a lot better this time, because I was just able to be, in tune with myself, and that was great. So, she came in, my doctor, and just wished me well, as she always does, and does her little prayer over my tummy. And, she told me, she said, "You make beautiful, beautiful embryos. Like, you guys bodies do really well together and make really great product. Now it's just a matter of, are these two, since we're not testing, are these two, the part of the group that is the good embryos that you have left? And, we don't know. So we're just going to pray about it and just trust the process. The other two are still growing. They're not as in the state they want them to be yet. So I don't know what's going to happen with them. And, at the end of the day, I can only control what I can, and I can't worry about the things that I don't have any control over. So, my motto is don't pray and worry, because if I'm going to pray, what am I going to worry for? And if I'm going to worry, there was no point in praying. So I'm not going to worry about them. We'll get a call tomorrow about them. And right now I'm just focusing on the two that I have in my tummy, and just praying that, they remain there. Now that the sun is not in my face, since I've turned, you might be able to see them a little bit better. So maybe you can see them. Yep, those are my guys or gals. Who knows? So that's that. Now I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna give me something to eat real quick, and then I'm gonna go home. And my doctor's like, just take it easy today, more for my mental than anything else, and then back to business as usual tomorrow. But I am going to lounge around for the next 2 days, because if I don't, I'm never going to hear the end of it from my babe. And then after the next 2 days, he's still like, don't do anything. I'm like, but I know I can't work out. Sherry told me that I can't work out for the next 2 weeks. I can't do anything but walk for 30 minutes for the next 2 weeks. Per the instruction of my doctor, I'm going to follow her instructions. I'm going to be good. And like, don't worry. He's like, yeah, you're not doing anything. I'm like, okay. So that is that. Hopefully that is helpful to somebody, and I will let you guys know how I'm doing. If anything earth-shattering happens between now and my beta, I'll tell you. But right now I'm just praying that all goes well. I lied to you if I said I wasn't going to test before my beta. I'm sure I will. I'm going to get anxious. I can't help it. So more to come. Thanks guys for listening, and we will talk soon. Bye.